All right, so we finally did the blind to figure out which is the best single barrel available on the market. I'm just going to let y'all know right now. This didn't finish dead last.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Kind of surprised.
Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we're going to talk about our single barrel experience of trying all of them at one time. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was kind of a crap show, if I'm being honest with you. So
I think I've decided that I think there might be only two single barrels that I really like.
2.5.
2.5, maybe.
So we talked about our favorite single barrels in a previous video. We'll have that linked in here so that way you all can check it out. Watch that first, then come back here. So that way you guys kind of get a premise of everything we're getting ready to do.
Hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and do all that good stuff.
So we go and we're like, hey, we're going to do a big blind. We had 11 bottles. We did this blind. And in the middle of it, I just looked over at Dave and I'm like, Dave, I feel like this just all sucks.
It might be the worst thing we've ever done.
It's not the worst thing we've ever done because we did the cocktail one that you want to do, which was absolutely awful.
I like to forget that even existed.
I don't.
But I get you.
But my point is, whenever we are going back and looking at this, I was very surprised on how many of these I thought would be really, really good.
Yeah.
And they just didn't perform very well.
Yeah.
The top three that we had were the tippy top, and it wasn't even debatable.
Yeah, it really wasn't debatable. What is debatable is whether or not we should try what is in this Glencairn.
I don't want to talk about that.
This is all of them mixed together, and we're going to try it. We both have one, and we're just going to try it. And I have no high hopes for it. Are you not going to try it?
Not right now. I was going to go through all the bottles that we did.
All right, I'll hold it then. I'm going to leave it right here.
All right, so really quick, what we did was Dave and I did a blind. We did it off screen because it would just took us like 30 minutes to go through it all.
It would take forever, so we're not going to do that.
But we went through and then we averaged everything up and we came up with a list. There's a couple ties. We'll talk about that as we go. But let's start with number 11 and 10 tied for us.
They did.
With scores that were they were both dead last for us respectively. Just in opposite order.
Yeah.
So number 11,
Number 11.
Evan Williams single barrel.
Evan Williams single barrel.
And then Baker 7.
And then the old Baker's 7.
You want to talk about right off the rip? So this was like, what was this, 3 and 4 in our blind?
Yeah.
They were right next to each other, wherever they were. He said to me, he's like, wait until you try 3. It's awful. And I said, no, wait until you go to 4.
Yeah, 3 and 4 were both awful.
And it was so bad. And I don't understand how.
Because this is good. I firmly believe that this is good. But I feel like we've done several blinds, and this has been in a couple other blinds, at least one other blind, and it doesn't blind well.
Well, I was telling Dave, I said, I think we had in our big price tier kind of ranking, and we did a blind video with that as well, that I thought the Evan Williams single barrel didn't blind well for us in that. I don't know if that's true or not. I just feel like that statement's correct.
Yeah.
But man, did both these bottles disappoint.
They were really disappointing.
They were really disappointing. And the Bakers, I was like, the Bakers remind me of the Oh Granddad 114 that blind, because that was awful.
I just felt like when we went through it the first time, whatever was in front of it, I can't even remember what number 2 was in front of it, but this had an Ambarana kind of feel to it, and I was just like, oh, this is terrible.
Number 2 in our blind was Jack Daniel's single barrel.
Oh, okay.
It was a low proof one,
so
it wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just
both of these.
It was terrible.
Terrible.
It was very, very bad.
Terrible.
It's crazy too, because then let's go to another one that I was shocked at. Our number 9 position would be Knob Creek 9-year single barrel.
I really like this.
You love it.
and I didn't like it. Again, like when you blind, I know that there are things about doing blinds because you're going one after the other, and we did 11 of them, so there was a lot of them in there.
Well, let me explain this about the blind too, because we didn't say this before. We went 1 through 11, and then after we were done, we took a break, and then we went back through again.
Yeah.
And we went the opposite way. Yeah. I mixed mine up a little bit because I
did
had
too.
questions where I was like, I kind of wonder what this does and what this does.
Yeah.
But we didn't do it the exact same way both ways. So, I mean, there was...
But it ended badly both ways. It wasn't good either way.
Yeah.
And I'm really disappointed in that. Like, I feel like I should stop recommending Knob Creek 9-year and Evan Williams Single Barrel because it ended so badly in this blind. Take that with with whatever you want to take it with, but this one was just not good.
Well, what's crazy is, as I was telling Dave, I don't think they don't drink as bad individually.
No, they don't.
But this goes back to whenever Old Granddad 114 did so poorly for us in the blind that like it's just never drank the same for me ever since then, and it has to be a mental thing.
Yeah.
All right, so number 8. This is my big shocker of everything. Even with the last two doing so poorly.
Yeah.
It's the Dickel 15-year. And this thing, I'll say this, in my notes whenever I was doing it, I just put down, it's just muted and calm.
Yeah.
There was nothing offensive about it.
Nope.
There was nothing good about it. There was nothing offensive about it.
Yeah.
And that kind of just barely put it above the bottom 3, which...
We're terrible.
We're terrible.
Yeah, they were terrible.
That's wild. And by the way, to the people in the comments below, I know you guys are going to be the ride or dies for old Dickel. Y'all won this one. Because I would have guaranteed you that would have finished at last.
I would have thought so too. And to our surprise,
I was wrong.
It did not.
All right. So that was number 8 for us. So let's go to number 7.
Number 7. Which was a surprise to me because these have a tendency. Like I thought they were good.
I thought it was going to do better.
I thought it was going to do better as well. Russell Reserve Single Barrel at number 7, and again at 7, you're just looking and going, it wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was just there, and that's what it felt like. There wasn't much to it. I think after drinking through it, it just kind of felt bland.
Yeah, I was kind of curious. So this is the very first one I went back to on my second go around because I was like, I agree with you. It felt kind of bland. I was like, has this been open for too long? And then I was like, well, I think this got open like less than a year and a half ago. Yeah. And I know it's been drink down from us doing videos and everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't hold up because I remember I went to this one and then the one right above it, and because I was kind of stuck in between those two.
Yeah.
And I was like, the one that we ended up putting right above it just did so much better.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, surprising.
All right, and number 6 on our list.
Which I was really surprised at, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I kind of was too. But I was for a multitude of reasons. Like, A, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I'm generally not as well.
And this bottle's been open for like I don't know, I want to say close to like 3 years.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought to myself as we were doing the bottle, like, maybe this won't get a fair shot because of how long it's been open for. I don't know if there's any kind of cork rot or anything else like that. It did really well. It got 6 for us.
It got 6, yeah. So you can't hate on the number 6.
And it got 6th place for us. I think it missed it by 1 point because there was a tie between the 4th and 5th spot. So really, it was like 1 point away and then like 3 points off of, or like 4 points off of being top 3. So it actually did.
Point being,
really well.
I don't like the price of this anymore. I think when it was like $35 and $40, it was better. And now that it's $65, $75, I don't like the price of it, but it's still not bad. And if you're looking for a good allocated bottle, this might be. It's not allocated around us anymore. But
no, I mean, there's literally case stacks of it out there. So the good thing is, and most of you guys kind of said the same thing. Like this one, the Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof that's on the list,
Yeah.
Like you guys said,
If they're
like,
readily available.
there's a lot more of these out there,
I'd,
which is good.
Again, I'd much rather see it at the $35, $40
Yeah.
mark, but it is what it is.
But
I
in
guess.
2018, anymore.
Yeah. It definitely not.
All right. Next to, so we had a tie with this one between the 4th and 5th spot is the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel and the Four Roses Single Barrel.
The low proof, right?
The low proof, yeah. And I was surprised how well the Four Roses did because I feel like the Four Roses kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. You know, I feel like most Four Roses don't do well in blinds, so I was actually really happy to see that do really, really well. So, and then the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel I was actually kind of impressed with how well it did. I thought it'd actually be more towards the lower end.
I can't remember where I put it. I think I had it a little lower than you had it.
Maybe.
But I can't, but still, both of these did fairly well in this.
Yeah.
And again, I have a tendency to like the barrel strengths more than this, but
Sure.
it stands up. Like it does really well. So
I agree. All right, now our top three. Now, really quick about our top three. I know we just said this a minute ago, but like there was just clearly a top three compared to everything else.
Yes.
Like where I would probably put like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish in their own little tier.
Probably 4 through 7 in a tier and 8 through 11 in a tier.
Sure.
That's what I would.
Or maybe 8's just like individually on its own.
Yeah, maybe.
Because 9, 10, 11 is just straight garbage.
Yes, they were.
But 1 through 3, and you said something too, you were like kind of depending on the day, I could see where this would be different, whatever. Or maybe in the blind. Maybe if it was blinded a little different. Yeah. I think if I'm looking at what's crazy is we actually went through the entire blind and 3 was number 9, 2 was number 10, and 11 was dead last in the blind.
Yeah.
So it actually went through the entire blind, and we still thought on the first go around these 3 were the exceptional ones.
Yeah.
So all right.
So what's at 3?
Number 3 is the Benchmark Single Barrel,
which again, I think of all the things that surprised me, this is the thing that surprised me the most.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought this would have done as well in a blind.
I really wouldn't have either.
Like, you could have told me, you know, maybe the Four Roses Single Barrel would have been done well in a blind. That would have maybe surprised me a little bit. The Henry McKenna would have surprised me a little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought the Benchmark Single Barrel would have done. Yeah. But it's really good. It's really, really good.
It is. It did really, like, significantly better than what I thought it would. And clearly above everything else.
Yeah.
So if you've snubbed your nose at Benchmark, maybe don't snub your nose at Benchmark. Maybe give it a try.
Hear, hear.
Yeah.
All right, number 2 on the list, John J. Bowman.
Is John J. Bowman.
Not shocked by this.
I'm not shocked by it either.
I mean, it's really good. Now, you had it as your number 1.
I had it number 1. But I was kind of flip-flopping around because I said, like, it just depends on the day and what I'm in the mood for. Like, this is smooth, easy drinking, like nothing like offensive, just really good, sweet bourbon.
Yeah.
And then number 1, which we'll bring up here in a second.
Our number 1 was Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof.
So the number 1 was the Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof, which it doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't either.
But it was close between these two. It really was.
Here for me, so it went Jack Daniel's, then Benchmark, then John J. Bowman. But they were all 3. This is what I was telling Dave. They were all 3 within 1 point of one another. Yeah. So with how we did the point scale, it really just for the top 3, it was just really kind of what you were feeling that day.
Yeah.
So
this one hit me better today than this one. But again, this one is so good in so many ways. It has the spice. It has the good things in it that you really want in a high
this one was
bourbon.
kind of barbecue-y, which I like.
I think I agree with that. So anyway, all good in their own right. So that's kind of our list.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments below if we left something off, if you're surprised about, or if you guys have same thoughts like on what we thought was good and what was bad. And I can't believe I'm getting ready to try this.
We're going to do it. Ready? cheers it up. We're gonna try
This is
this.
probably gonna be hot garbage. That was such a dumb idea. Oh my gosh, that was a terrible idea. Hit the like, subscribe. Oh, it gets way worse on the end. Hit the like, subscribe, notification on the end. Whatever, get out of here.
Until the next time. Until the next time.
That's terrible.
We'll see you.
I'm never doing that again.
Bye.